Hello students, welcome to our channel Science of Life. Students, we have already studied about the chemical reactions in our previous videos and I got so many comments and likes from the students itself. That video was very helpful for them, especially for their exam point of view. So if you have not watched it, please watch it so you will understand better chemical reactions in very easy manner. Now, in today's video, we are going to learn in a very easy manner how to balance the chemical equations and how to write the chemical equations. So before starting the balancing of the chemical equations, we should know how to write the chemical equations. See, we have to write all the reactants on the LHS just the way you solve the equations, linear equations in the mathematics. In the same way, you have to write down all the reactants on the LHS, that is left hand side, and all the products on the right hand side, and in the middle there will be one arrow. In maths you write equals to, in science we used to write arrow. Let's take one example. Suppose if you are going to bake a cake, then what are the ingredients you need? You need flour, you need milk, you need butter, you need baking powder, and you need cocoa powder as well. So all the ingredients are the reactants in making the cake. So we will write all the reactants, or we can say all the ingredients, on the LHS. Then for making the cake, what do we need? We need to give heat energy. Okay, so that heat would be written on the arrow. The amount of heat energy means 180 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Celsius if you are using that temperature for baking the cake. And then what is our final product? Our final product is the cake. That would be written on RHS, that is right hand side. So this is a complete way of writing the chemical equations. Now let's see how to balance the chemical equations. Now there is a question. Why do we need to balance these chemical equations? The answer for this is we need to maintain, or we need to follow the law of conservation of mass. You will better understand this by an example. Look at the screen, everyone. Here you can see kids are playing tug of war. But what you can see, 3 kids at one side and 1 kid on the other side, and they all are pulling the rope. But this is completely unbalanced. You can see. Now what the teacher has done, teacher has shifted one boy from the LHS to the another side. Now you can see this tug of war is well balanced. And now both the boys can pull the ropes and this is completely balanced. In this way, we need to balance the chemical equations as well to follow the law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass means number of atoms in the LHS, means reactant side, would be equal to the number of atoms on the product side, that is RHS. Means mass of the reactants would be always equal to the mass of the products. This is the law of conservation of mass, because mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. And how to balance it in a very easy manner, step by step, let's get started. Let's take an example. Look at the screen. Hydrogen plus oxygen gives water, that is H2O. Now we need to know first of all that this equation is balanced or not balanced. So first of all, make a table. In this table, write down the number of reactants and number of products on one column, and write down the number of atoms of oxygen and hydrogen in the reactants and hydrogen or oxygen in the products as well. After writing, what you can see? You can see that in the LHS there is 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen, but in RHS hydrogen is 2 but oxygen atom is 1 only. This shows that this equation is not balanced and we need to balance it. So we have made this table. Now what we need to balance? Look at the box. You can see oxygen is only 1 in the RHS. So we need to balance oxygen atom. Now multiply RHS with 2. Now after multiplying it with 2, you can see that oxygen on LHS and RHS is 2, and keep writing in the boxes also so as to avoid the confusion. As soon as you multiply the RHS with 2, change the number in the table also. Now you can see oxygen is balanced. But now look at the screen properly. Hydrogen is not balanced now because we have multiplied with 2 in the RHS. Now you can see hydrogen is 4 in the RHS but it is 2 in the LHS. Now multiply hydrogen with the 2 in the LHS. Now you can see and keep writing in the table also. So in the table now you can see oxygen is balanced in LHS and RHS, means number of atoms are equal, and number of atoms of hydrogen is also balanced, that is 4 and 4. Now our chemical equation is completely balanced. Means if your table is showing that LHS and RHS are having the equal number of atoms, means the equation is now balanced. This is a very easy way. This making of the table is a very easy way to balance the chemical equation, especially for the students of 9th standard and the 10th standard and in the competitive exams as well. Now let's take one more example and I want you to solve this by making the table. Look at the screen. Hydrogen and nitrogen are the reactants and they combine to form the ammonia. And now immediately we have to make a table to know that whether this equation is balanced or unbalanced. So write down the number of the atoms in the reactants and the product side. So you can see hydrogen is 2 and nitrogen is 2 in the reactant side, and hydrogen is 3 and nitrogen is only 1. So obviously this equation is completely unbalanced and we need to balance it. First of all, we need to multiply RHS with 2. When you multiply RHS with 2 means ammonia with 2, then you can see now nitrogen in the LHS and RHS are balanced, means 2, 2. And keep updating continuously in the table also so as to avoid the confusion. So nitrogen is balanced, but now hydrogen is not balanced. Hydrogen is 6 on the RHS. So multiply hydrogen in the LHS with 3. So 3 into 2, 6, and there also it is 2 into 3, 6. So LHS and RHS, now you can see in your table, are completely balanced. Number of atoms in the reactants and the number of atoms in the product side are completely balanced. So my dear students, making the table makes it very easy to balance the chemical equation without any confusion. You can use lots of methods also. There are ample of methods for balancing the chemical equation. You can find lots of videos on the YouTube also. But this is the easiest way. Make a table, write down the number of atoms in the reactants, number of products. Easily within minutes, within seconds, you will be able to balance the chemical equation, and obviously your speed will increase with practice only. So, if you are having any doubt, ask me in the commenting box. Till then, keep learning.